Well, I'm Travis Simone, and I have the privilege of being one of the pastors for Dawn Linton and have been on this journey with her and with Steve when they were going up to Vermont to purchase Pilgrim. And then, as we know, that the whole idea behind Pilgrim changed and what it would be used for. And I want to participate in this journey with Dawn by offering a blessing for Pilgrim and for Dawn as she embarks on her first out of Williamsburg journey. And I didn't know the camper's name was Pilgrim until recently. And that struck a chord very deeply within me because a pilgrimage is a Christian idea of moving through the world in such a way that you become more aware of who God is and what God is doing in your life. It's not about the destination. It is about the journey and the process by which you go through. And there's a famous work of literature, one of the finest pieces of literature in the world, that's titled Pilgrim's Progress. And it's about a man journeying through this life toward an understanding of his true home. And I want to just share a quick passage from that story, The Pilgrim's Progress. There's a scene, the man's name is Christian, and he's locked in something called Doubting Castle. Doubting Castle is guarded by two giants. One of the giants' names is Despair. The other giant's name, they use kind of an old English word in the text, but I'll translate it for modern English, low self-esteem. There's despair and there's low self-esteem. And he's been captured by these giants. He's trapped in this dungeon of Doubting Castle. And all of a sudden, Christian realizes something, and this is what it says. At once he was amazed, and he broke out in passionate speech. What a fool I am to lie here in this stinking dungeon, while I may as well walk in liberty. For I have a key in my pocket called promise that will, I am persuaded, unlock any door in Doubting Castle. Christian has a companion. His name is Hopeful. Hopeful says, that's good news, brother. Pluck it out of your pocket and try. And this next scene, Christian pulls the key out of his pocket. It opens the dungeon door with ease. He begins to move through the castle. Finally, he gets to the last gate, the final escape moment. He puts the key in. It's a little harder to turn. He's got to put a little more energy into it. Eventually it opens, but it's like a creaky, rusty gate. And as the gate is creaking and slowly opening, despair and low self-esteem are awakened and begin to chase after him. And just when he's about to be afraid, he sees despair and low self-esteem fall to the ground, and Christian and Hopeful move out of Doubting Castle. Dawn, I think this is a parable for you. I think it's fitting for Pilgrim here. With everything you've been through, you could easily be locked in a dungeon called Doubting Castle. You could easily be caught up in despair from what has happened and plans having changed. How you look at life could be shattered by low self-esteem, going, what do I have moving forward? But I want to assure you, as you christen Pilgrim on the first journey, God has given you a key in your pocket. The key is called promise. It's the promise of new life in Him.